Good evening, Megan. Today, Fox News has been asking voters around the country, nearly 20,000 of them, how they voted today and why. So even before any of the polls close, we can get a sense of what's motivating voters out there today. First, a stunning finding on how people are feeling as they go into the voting booth. About half think that life in America will not be better for their children. 49%. That is a record high tonight. A number of those voting today say that life will be better in America for their kids. That is a record low at 22% today. So that is a very gloomy number for the incumbents out there. Let's get a look at some of those races that you talked about that everybody's going to be watching very closely. First, let's take the pulse in North Carolina, where the Republican Tom Tillis is trying to knock off the incumbent Democrat Senator Kay Hagan. She is considered to be perhaps the most entrenched incumbent out there tonight. So Tillis, as many of his fellow Republicans, are arguing in the races that she is too close to President Obama, that she votes with him all the time. Conservative for North Carolinians, more than 43% agree with her on that. Independents going for Shaheen at this moment, 50% for Brown. This one's been neck and neck all along. These are early numbers, keep in mind. People are still out there voting, but that's a look at that for the moment. Let me show you one more from the national exit polls that we just got in moments ago as well. President Obama has said that his policies are on the ballot tonight. Many candidates have tried to steer clear of the president while they've been campaigning, so how is that working out? 34% say that they voted to show that they are opposed to President Obama's policies. Now, that number was a little bit higher in the 2010 midterm. It was 37% that year. And a bigger number, 45%, say that the president irrelevant to the decision that they made today, and that maybe say something about his lame duck status as he heads through the rest of his term. Lots of polls coming in. We're going to continue to show you those throughout the evening. For now, back to you, Megan and Brett. That's right, Brett. In Georgia, the Senate story, which you were just referring to, unlikely to be over tonight. If no candidate gets over 50%, they go to a January 6th runoff, as you just said. But in the exit poll rules, we can show you who people say they would vote for in a runoff. And take a look at this. If it comes down to a Republican challenger and the former Dollar General CEO, David Perdue, against the nonprofit exec and the daughter of Sam Nunn, Michelle Nunn, here is how a head-to-head would match up according to the exit polls today. 46% for Nunn, 50% for Perdue. 2% say they wouldn't vote if it went to a runoff. Late deciders, though, today are breaking for Michelle Nunn. So the get out the vote effort appears to have some impact for her. She's at 51% in that. So as we've all been saying tonight, Virginia was really not on anybody's radar of races to watch, but we've got a very tight race for the Senate there. Republican campaign veteran Ed Gillespie, he lost his shot at the governor's seat the last time around. He's at it again. He was down by 20% just a month ago. Here is how he's stacking up among independents in the exit poll tonight. Take a look at this against incumbent Mark Warner. 48% for Warner, 47% for Gillespie. So it's very tight. But keep in mind, back in 2008, Warner won 2/3 of the independent vote, and he's having a tough time hanging in there with the independents tonight. Still, the voters like Warner. Take a look at the favorable rating, 56% favorable rating for Warner in the state of Virginia. We're going to take a look at the numbers and how they rate for Gillespie a little bit later on tonight as well. Let's go to Louisiana here, another state that's likely to be a runoff. So take a look at this. If it comes down to the head-to-head, the three-term Senator Mary Landrieu and Congressman and Dr. Bill Cassidy, he looks to be ahead in that match, up by 5%. So let's take a look at this. That's Landrieu and Cassidy there. So let's go to Colorado for just a moment, get one last look here. The incumbent Mark Udall has been put back on his heels, really, by upstart Congressman Cory Gardner. He's given him a real run for his money in the state of Colorado. Udall has really run a war on women campaign in this state, which worked very well for the president in 2012 and candidates that he brought along with him. And Udall is indeed winning among women in the exit polls tonight, 52% to 43% for him. At the same time, Republican challenger Gardner very well with independents he's doing tonight in this super tight race. He is at 50% to 43%. One national poll for you before we go. 72% of voters say that they're worried that there will be another terrorist attack in this country. And that goes to the fear factor and the unsettled factor that seems to be weighing in so many of these races across the board tonight. We're going to continue to look at them. More exit polls coming up to come. Back to you guys.